We are live. Hello, everybody, and welcome to the Benni and Basil Show special edition. We got a big one here featuring Casey Putsch. Welcome to the show.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me. Looking forward.
No, we're so happy to have you. Well, obviously, everyone knows Casey, Mr. Putsch, as I like to call him, I show due deference, is running for governor of Ohio.
Correct.
Running against enemy of the pod, Vivek Ramaswamy. we have friends of the pod, we have enemies of the pod. Vivek is one of them.
Yeah.
Speaking of Vivek, I'm fully Vivek'd out for the pay pigs.
Oh, no.
Oh, man. We gotta bring that in later. We don't want
Yeah. Ease into it, but no, right off the rip, we're getting
Right
to
off the
it.
bat.
Yeah.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. We appreciate the generosity of your time, truly.
Especially, on a Sunday here.
Yes.
Yeah.
We were going to originally do it
The
at
Lord's
12.
Day.
Yeah, and then they said, actually, Casey's going to be at church. We're like, oh, love that. Love that.
So
Very
good. And love you said this is your basement, right?
Yeah, actually, this is my watchmaking desk where I
Love it.
build watches and repair them, and there's I don't know.
I might-
from when I was a kid. And,
Nice. Yeah, I might have to ship you this. I got a 1960s Hamilton here that needs, it needs the works. It's not keeping in time. Probably needs a new mainspring. I'll send it your way.
Or when we come to start doing door knocking, if you're not busy running a whole gubernatorial campaign, maybe you could take a look at it.
Yeah.
I would be happy to anyway. Yeah, we should hang out sometime.
Love
Yeah,
it, love
would
it.
love
Well,
that.
who knows? We might be out there. We might be the Ohio Foreign Legion.
Yeah.
Wow, I'd be honored, man. No, really.
We would love to do it.
Yeah.
But, okay, so let's talk a little bit about the campaign. For those who don't know, if you live in Ohio, the campaign is May 5th. I'm sorry, the primary is May 5th, right? Cinco de Mayo?
Yeah, that's right. I didn't even think of that. Yeah, it's the Ohio Open Primary, me versus Vivek.
Yes,
Oh, boy.
yes. So you're going to vote for Casey, and then you're going to go get yourself a margarita. But yeah, like you said, it's an open primary, right? So people can grab a Republican ballot the day that they go to the polls, right?
Yeah, which it's fascinating because I was on a podcast a while back ago, and the guy was very conservative, very kind of establishment friends, I'll say. And he started getting all over on my case, like, am I going to attract Democrats to vote for me in the primary? And I'm like, I don't know can you do that? And I didn't want to answer it because I didn't even know if that was a thing. So I was just like, well, the Democrat candidate sucks, and the Republican establishment, Vivek, is horrific. So I imagine if people can vote for me, they probably will because I represent the people of Ohio. And then the establishment right-wing guys went crazy, trying to make it look like I'm a leftist plant trying to get left. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Oh,
and there was
boy.
even an ex-Republican congressman, very kind man, that's given me great advice, who wrote a long thing publicly on Facebook saying like, hey, don't be mad at Casey. You should be mad at the system. If a man gets angry enough to fight against the system for what he feels is the betterment of the state and tomorrow, you at least have to applaud that, which I thought that was very kind in politics doing that. But yeah, it's an open primary. Literally anybody can come vote for me over Vivek.
Also, it's like, God forbid a guy has like wide-ranging appeal and pulls people up. Like, I thought that was the whole point of elections. I thought it sounds like a kind of backhanded advice type of thing. Where like, no, you should silo yourself to the most extreme fringes to make yourself completely unelectable.
Yeah, I'm gonna. You see, we're having a nice conversation here, like actual human beings. And I don't. Can we just do that? Can we just live?
Yes, let's be so fucking for real.
So true.
I've been a Republican forever because, from my standpoint, I felt that being a Republican and the basic conservative values there is where I felt like I'd be better positioned to create a better tomorrow with my community and family life. And that's at the core why I'm a Republican and vote that way. I don't see enough window there on the Democrat side to affect positive change. I do, of course, see things on the Republican side that sincerely have to be fought against. This bad establishment in this, of course, with Vivek, has to be fought against. That's why I'm here. I just want to have a better tomorrow, and we don't see it. I feel like the walls are closing in, like that scene in the first Star Wars,
Yeah. No, I mean, we on this show we talk about it all the time where the vehicles are fictions. They're vehicles to power, right? It's like really it's about whether you're putting American interests first, your community's interests first, your nation's interests first, and it's like it's for that exact same reason why the Republicans are really, fucked up in this sense where you've given your Democratic opponent this wonderful golden platter of Vivek's Christmas crash out to be so now the Democrat is the one saying, "Hey, this guy hates you and your family in America and everything we believe in and stand for and thinks that you're saved by the bell," or whatever the case may be. So it's like, yeah, obviously we should be outflanking the Democrat if that's the line that they're going with.
Yeah, no, you're exactly right. And okay, so as far as me running and why I do it,
yes, please.
My soul was burning, like just straight up. And I thought about it, and running against Vivek was something I started considering when I saw him initially. Announced he's running for governor of Ohio because he was astroturfed in Libya and just totally paved the way, bought it all out.
Phony.
Thinking about it. Yeah, and then even got with a friend of mine in like conservative, philanthropy and activism and stuff, and said, "Hey, this is what I'm thinking." So gave it a lot of thought, and then later somebody talked me out of it. They're like, "Dude, he's not going to win. He's not. Just don't worry about it. Don't worry about it." But then I saw Vivek buying his way in and clearing the field with the full establishment, and just like my soul was on fire, and I could not see a future in where I could be happy if I didn't stand up and give literally Ohio what I feel another option. And just in the contrast, not to talk about him forever, but this is a man that didn't go to higher education in Ohio. He went to Harvard, Yale, got Soros family money and a scholarship, despite already making over $500,000 a year in college. What? He has no businesses in Ohio, despite now being better part of $2 billion. He's done no philanthropic work in Ohio, nothing. It's just so many oddities across the board, but that alone is enough for me to go, no. Because I spent the last 11 years of my life doing Genius Garage, which is a 501c3 I created because I didn't like my experience in college. I didn't think we had good mentorship. I didn't think we had real world experience. I thought it cost too much and everybody's going broke and universities are a black hole for a nation's future wealth. So I created it because I thought, if I'm going to be involved with cars and airplanes anyway, why don't I just do it in a way that matters? And I thought that, and I did that because I was mentoring some engineering students at Ohio State University back when, because at the time I had a little shop. I was restoring historic racing cars and starting to build my Omega car prototype, that 100-mile-a-gallon car.
Yeah,
very cool.
Yeah. And so I did Genius Garage because it just felt empty playing with cars, and I thought, well, I'm already mentoring students at Ohio State, helping them with fabrication, all that they don't get in school. Why don't I do it put it together as a curriculum and structure? And I have, and it's been super successful getting students jobs everywhere from Lockheed Martin, even Tesla and GM and Ford and Marathon Oil, and like a host of smaller, cool startups and smaller technical businesses. But in 11 years, there's just been no support. In fact, there's state-funded programs that would fund students in curriculums just like what Genius Garage is for the Better Tomorrow, but they'll only fund it if you're like an ex-drug addict or alcoholic or like, it's nice to help people, but like, why don't we help the people that want to work and can first forward? And I got to where I couldn't take it anymore. I think our society is kind of messed up, and I've seen too much of how the sausage is made and what's wrong with the educational system, not just higher education, but K through 12. And I couldn't take it anymore there. And then with the Omega car I did, that was back when I felt Obama was full of crap and lying about, retooling Detroit. So, affordable energy.
What Obama did to the automotive industry will never leave my mind with, what's called cash for clunkers, all the diesel EPA regulations. Like, basically, I don't got to tell you, but like every diesel after 2009, 2011, whenever they made it like the DEF and all that bullshit mandatory and just ruined reliability of diesels. Like, I will never forgive what Obama did to cars.
Well, across the board, and the other thing that's odd, and this led to me building that car, of course, if we look at electric vehicles in the relationship with government and people, it was started, I think, back in the Clinton administrations, where a very small percent of new vehicles sold, they wanted to be electric. And I think it was like only 1 to 3%.
Yeah.
But if we fast forward, of course, to Obama, what he did, and bailing out the automotive industry and being able to kind of push things around and directions and all, and then we get all the way to Joe Biden's administration, as well as even considering Gavin Newsom in California, where like a massive percentage of new cars by a certain date are going to have to be electric.
Yep.
That just destroys innovation.
So true.
that's government regulation of industry completely. And government regulation of industry is one of the mechanical hallmarks and telltale signs of fascism, which the left was promoting in that regard. Now, I don't say that to trigger anybody. I say it as a matter of fact, and I say that as an innovator, an engineering type person that thinks largely what's in the best interest of everybody, and that destroys innovation. And so my car, I built it back in 2012, and I said, my hallmark was over 100 miles a gallon, non-hybrid, just over 100 miles a gallon, 0 to 60 in 5 seconds, because I felt the world would get that. And then build a car that's representative of many recyclable mass production techniques that would be low environmental impact to create and also very affordable. So my concept I built to show that, promote it. And what I did was I realized after I got it done, I had no voice. And I was kind of burned out. If the world doesn't know it exists, it doesn't exist. So I just sat on it for years while I was doing Genius Garage and trying to build the educational program. And then when it came time for Kamala versus Trump, I was like, we cannot have a Kamala presidency. Like, that's just, there were many reasons I didn't like that. And of course, the EV mandates and all that across the board. And I'm like, I want Trump and I like everything he's saying. And so I spoke out by what I did was I tested the car. First test out of the box, no aerodynamic fairings, no tuning. Like, haven't touched the thing. It was 104.72 miles per gallon with stop sign.
Sick.
That's crazy. Yeah. Yeah. With no tuning and
None. And the next day I did 0 to 60 testing, with proper accelerometers and GPS on it. And I also did it. I benchmarked it with my 93 Viper RT10, a C7 Grand Sport Corvette, and a Tesla Model 3 rear-wheel drive with a full charge. To be fair, because rear-wheel drive now.
Biggest engine fitted to a car, by the way, in the Viper. Isn't that true? The V10? Isn't it like an 8.3 or something like that?
The old ones are 8-liter, and then the new ones are like 8 point something or other.
That's wild.
But yeah, it's a big old thumper, and it's good because it doesn't have to work real hard. So they
it's low stress.
Yes, low stress. Low stress. Not like my job right now. But yeah, so I did the testing. It beat the Dodge Viper by 0.2 of a second, exactly matched the Tesla and the Corvette. That's with no traction control and tires on my car that are now like 12 years old and originally intended for a Prius.
Oh, yeah. So you got no grip.
Yeah. And so the third day I did the math. I'm like, hey, I bet the EPA's got numbers on like what's the carbon offset of burning a gallon of diesel and what's the carbon offset of generating a kilowatt hour of electricity. So then I did some math. It's pretty easy. And my car on straight diesel has a lower carbon footprint per mile than an EV. And you
didn't need to hire an H-1B to do that math for you? You were able to do that as an American?
Dude. Yeah, it's dumb American. Yeah,
I can't believe it. The way that they say it, I would never believe it. But I think it's really interesting about the car aspect of it, right? Because it's with so many of these things that we're told that, EV is for the environment, et cetera, completely ignoring the mining and all of this stuff and the extractive process of it. Whereas there is something very American and that about the ability, other people talk about this, about the ability to drive in your car and fill it up on gas and not have to sit at a charging station and be able to drive, right? And what you're talking about is exactly that type of thing where maybe at the most superficial level, it doesn't sound as green as electric vehicles. But when you actually look into it, it's like, yes, this is actually the environmentalist position.
It's funny because you don't even have to do the whole thing about, conflict minerals and we're mining lithium and da-da-da-da-da. It's like, no, it's just like literally...
It's more efficient. It's
recycled. The consumption, if you're using the national grid average kilowatt hour, like...
Yeah. Well, and there's other things here, too. Some people say, well, what are you going to do when you got to meet regulations and crash test and airbag? I'm like, okay, chillax. Well, one, I'm probably not going to be just one dude building it, and there's probably millions of dollars.
It's proof of concept. It's proof of the concept.
Well, add a few 100 pounds. Like, you don't think I'm going to develop and it's going to get even better?
Right.
So, no, it's a poor argument. But the other thing, too, is... that can be built here in America with dudes, but let's not forget with regard to electric cars of the automated driving, obviously, and then the fact that
when it's not running you over on the street, when it's not running over a baby carriage.
Right. And, politicians and billionaires always like to sell everything down your throat by saying it's in your best interest and it's safer. No. What you're doing is you want totalitarian control because eventually the cars are only going to go when you want to let us.
Exactly.
The guise of safety is usually masked by
Be like, oh no, you had a spicy
totalitarian,
tweet about
yeah.
H-1Bs, your car no longer starts.
Yeah.
Thank you, customer.
Right, exactly.
And in the meantime, what they're doing is exactly what you were talking about with Vivek about like investment into Ohio. Now he wants to talk about investment into Ohio, but only through his supporters, his backers, Jeff Yes, and Aaron Dill and Palantir and all these other people who are sponsoring him. That's the only type of investment we're getting instead of the type of investment that you've been talking about. And it's actually interesting. Something you mentioned during that was that they want to give the grants to like drug addicts and whatever. And we talk about this on the show all the time, where it's like the left is this coalition between professional managerial class people with degrees, with NGO jobs, and like criminal elements of convicts and migrants, and it's those two people working together to siphon as much as they can out of the public coffers. And it seems like a perfect example of that.
Yeah, it's sad to say, but like right now, you're exactly right about the left. And that's something I feel so sad about. It's like, okay, wait a minute. You guys were supposed to care about the environment and like people that are all different kinds of education. I just spent the last 11 years of my life mentoring and not getting paid, like helping get the scholarship funding so students can do the program of every different color and background and sexuality and stuff. The left's not helping.
Right.
No.
Screw them. No offense, but like that. And then it's funny because like, I think the vast majority of every donor of anybody that's ever helped Genius Garage have all been conservative.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And on the left, the people who are funding that thing that you're describing are always going to be tech, defense, pharma, and finance. And who's a perfect amalgamation of that is Vivek.
Vivek is
Aaron Dill, Palantir, the pharma rug pulls. It's like...
and that's what we see on the right now. Like, it's like, oh my God. It's the same thing with the car too. Like an environmentally friendly car, it's one guy doing this. It's affordable. It's like, but you guys want EVs led by people that have no of your best interest in mind. Like, I'm sorry, left, but you guys, you're not even. But like on the right, exactly what you said. Big pharma, big tech. When Vivek was talking about how he thinks Ohio River Valley could be Silicon Valley, I kind of laughed at that back when because
he's like, yeah, we can import all of my cousins here, just like Silicon Valley.
Yeah.
Well, you're not joking. That's the thing, and I'll mention that in a sec. But like, I realize that's just code for I'm just here to facilitate shoving data centers up your tailpipe. You have to subsidize the cost through massive electricity bills. It creates basically no jobs. There's no product, and you want tax abatements while you destroy our land and sap all of our fresh water from rivers, Lake Erie, and aquifers. How about no?
Yeah, ask people in Cleveland if they want to turn Cleveland into San Francisco. I don't think it's going to be a very popular proposition.
No, and then the other thing, the H-1B things, that's more of a federal issue, of course. But I'm not for it because you get somebody like Vivek or other politicians saying we don't have the people with the skills or the talent or the education here to do that. So we need to import literally cheap Indian labor, 70% of the rest from China.
Miss me with that.
Yeah, it's very distasteful.
Outcompete all of the jobs here just by virtue of taking away any jobs anybody can get, like by flooding it. And then they'll work for less money, so the corporations and billionaires profit hundreds of millions of dollars, and then you destroy the job market for the people who are now being competed by foreign nationals. What the actual F?
It's actually,
I think
it's sick.
It's deeply pernicious in this other way too, because what we're seeing a lot is this very performative ICE stuff going on in Minneapolis and stuff like that. So they're kind of putting on a show of saying we're getting rid of the low wage, migrant from Central and South America. They're not really. I wish they were, but they're not actually. It's a lot of performance.
But what about the Indian making $67,000 a year who took the jobs?
Exactly. Those are the people that are competing for decent middle class jobs that pull people out of destitution into the middle class. And now you're competing with the entire global South for it. It's actually more dangerous and more pernicious for our economy than flooding the country with cheap, fruit pickers.
Yep.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It undermines in every way, shape, and form. And I think we see, at state level, obviously that's what I'm running for, but federal level too, across the board. It seems like all politicians and billionaires just find new ways to completely undercut, sell out everybody's future, forget about, shave some off the top, leverage, create more like fraud and abuse at every level. It's a cancer. It's funny, I'll tell you this. So I've done a couple interviews of recent that were more mainstream. And it was weird. The second and third one, I said, it's interesting. Your questions are exact same questions in the same order as the last one that I just did.
Oh,
and the first one is like, they try to say, do you identify as a white nationalist? And I'm like, well, I'm white. And
I love my country.
Like your country more than others? So why are you asking that question?
Got me.
They're like, oh, I want to know if you identify as one. I'm like, I identify as a Buckeye and a Card guy.
Yeah, I'm not playing your stupid ass game.
Yeah, and then they're like, well, you refer to Vivek as an anchor baby. And I'm like,
well,
is he not?
And?
Is he not?
And they're like, do you think that makes him unfit to lead? I'm like, I think that only comes into play when he insults Americans and our heritage.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's an explanation for that. Exactly. Yeah. It's like the reason why he hates Americans and heritage Americans that way is because of this, his own insecurity about his relation vis-a-vis the country.
Being an American.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're exactly right. You know, and I'll be honest, my campaign team is probably watching this going, Casey, like, you need to be like more.
Chill out.
I just want to hang out with you guys. Like, I assume that people watching are like you, and that's what I'm going to do. We're going to hang out. But where I'm going with this is, so Vivek, my assessment, and I don't know him,
also, my parents are from Afghanistan, so I give you the pass. You can call me anything you want, sir.
I just call you by name. I'm having a good time, man. That's funny, actually. Anyway, we'll joke around in the garage like dudes together.
Yes, exactly. But one really quick thing that, you know, about this whole distinction about the H-1Bs and whatever is something that we've been noticing a lot on our show is there is a disconnect between America as an empire and America as a nation. And I think a lot of what you represent is the American nation, talking about the people who are here, the industries who are here, the things that make America great versus the things that are good for the American empire, right? So it's like, whether you like whatever's happening in Venezuela or Greenland or whatever the case may be, that's about the American empire. And that's also what the H-1B stuff is about. That is like beneficial from an American imperial standpoint, but it's detrimental to the American nation. Those instances in which those are in conflict are the instances in which we're like, yeah, then we're going to choose the American nation every time.
Well, that's really well said, and I appreciate you saying that. And honestly, perhaps from your vantage point and background and family background, like I give you a lot of credit for saying that because you have more of a perspective than some of the Americans that maybe were too in the game.
You hear that, guys? You hear that?
You see that? That white man loves me.
Like, I know how to look at things from other people's perspective and have empathy and even like self-assess. I think that's how we grow. Like, how do you not do that?
Well, the thing about becoming an American is that you leave those old world ties behind, right? I don't want to bring all of my cousins here, and I don't want us to be, you know, expelling blood and treasure to try to make Afghanistan a democracy. I was born here. This is where my roots are shallow, but they're here.
You don't want Sharia law? You don't?
Well, the women are acting crazy these days.
Yeah. So American is a people versus an empire. The scary thing about the empire, I understand world stage, I understand all that, but to what end?
Right.
You know, the American people, it is blood and soil. I got generations going back. We don't need to talk about this right now, but you see a folded flag on the wall back there.
Absolutely.
I didn't buy that at a flea market. Okay.
Yeah.
There's pictures of people flying jets in the past and doing.
Is that an M1?
Right. What side did the Ramaswamis fight in the Civil War?
Yeah.
Which side were they on? The Confederates, the Union? You know?
I know. When my granddad was like laying on the beach in Okinawa in World War II, or his brother.
He's like, quick, help my buddy Ramaswamy.
Sorry, I got the chapati for you.
Sorry, I mean, like, it is what it is. But I actually did have two, because the thing is, a lot of this stuff with the immigration and with, the EPA stuff, that is federal, right? So there is a disconnect in what you'll be able to affect as a governor. Yeah. But one thing that is in your control is, would you be open and okay with appointing, like, I don't know how it works in Ohio, excuse me if this is stupid, but appointing an attorney general, for example, or, a state attorney that is okay with being sued, right? Because you're not going to be able to affect, for example, the Civil Rights Act based censorship regime, right? But if you put in policies that are obviously in contradiction to the federal level, you're going to get suits, and who knows, maybe it'll be an Ohio state case that goes up to the Supreme Court to start working our way around these types of things.
A fair number of questions here relating to specific details and across the board. I think it's fair to say, in general, in life, I think we shall comport ourselves in a way to not get sued.
Fair, very fair.
I try to live a respectful, reasonable, and generally
individual capacities, right? In our individual capacities.
I would like to see that from people in government. Maybe that's me being way too idealistic, of course. But, obviously working within the Constitution, state Constitution, within what is right, lawful, and ethical, that's important. And then when it comes to things that are not in the best interest of the people of Ohio, because at the end of the day, a state is just the people You know, and if we're being wrong to the people or we're selling them out for things that are their interests are global or outside of the state, then we're literally just destroying our state.
Yeah, like what are we doing at that point? Okay, I have one more kind of technical electoral question, right? Which is to say, who is the Casey Putsch voter in the primary, right? So, because we're going to obviously be rah-rah-rahing you the whole time, but it's like, are we going to be are we talking to the wine moms? We love to talk to the suburban wine moms, but it's like, is that who we're talking to? Are we talking to like?
We have another podcast. Like you guys are like, I mean, it's like
you got to check out the show. It's great. You'll love it.
It's a really fun podcast. Like, I'm like, I should probably not be this casual. Like,
no.
Get the wine moms on.
Yeah, no, we love the wine moms. It's like, are we talking to the wine moms? Are we talking to the under 40 American man? Are we because we could talk to all of them.
Are we talking to the Dodge Ram with the Cummins shutting out?
So true. I have no idea what any of that means. He's the masked one.
This is one of the best questions anybody's asked me so far.
Let's go. You hear that?
Take credit for that. No, seriously, take credit for it. There isn't one specific voter. There just isn't, because, you know, why am I here? I'm representing first and foremost the people of Ohio in our best interest, and that's everything. It's from like right to repair, like
right to repair.
Right to repair is so important.
Car guys and farmers and build a business and innovate. And the government actually support not doing that. Like, you know, I'm not here to put the brakes on innovation in the future. Yeah, we're kind of stuck with data centers. We're probably gonna get more, but why can't we do it in a way that's a net gain for Ohio in the future rather than a net loss? So I'm not somebody that's putting the brakes on.
We're not Luddites here. We're not Luddites.
Well,
Benny's a little bit of a Luddite.
We need to do it in a way that's in the best interest
exactly.
of the people. That's not what we're doing. You know, there are, I'm traditional in many ways. Like, I have a 3-year-old daughter. I have a bun in the oven and a nice wife.
Hey, God bless.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah, I think it's important for people to be able to afford a freaking home. Can I say it that way? Yeah. You know? And that goes from like alleviating property tax, especially for older people, but stopping corporations and private equity from buying mass amounts of private homes and making it so nobody can afford them. Like, that's not acceptable. If you can't afford a home, like how can we even be Americans or people and have a community or a future?
Just as much as driving your gasoline car is part of being American, owning your own home is that white picket fence, that ideal is something that it is ingrained in us.
Yes.
Yeah. Yeah,
and it should be. It's a good life. It's a good thing to have. You know, it's something that we're taught or we know has been possible for our history. So it's like, why is it something that we're told is an impossibility for our future?
Combination of gasoline car and diesel truck. I need to have
so true.
We just need to objectively do what's in the best interest of people in the future.
Yes.
So true.
Not just because politicians want all the power or billionaires and, corporations. It's like, okay, there's going to be politicians. Like, you got a job, great. Can we just not turn you into a swamp creature? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it's like, okay, you're a billionaire. Like, do you need a hobby? Like, what do you do?
There's not much you could do to Vivek to make him not look like a swamp creature.
Oh, come on. We can't. They're going to write the article now. They're going to write the article.
No, they're going to write plenty of articles already.
Yeah.
I mean, let the games begin. Going back to that, I'm a First Amendment absolutist. Like,
absolutely.
That includes everything. Whether you like it or not, okay?
Totally.
It's freedom of speech, not freedom of not getting your feelings hurt. Sorry, not sorry.
See, this is actually why I asked you about that whole civil rights thing with the state attorneys general, is because the way that we view it here is we are absolute free speech absolutists here, right? But the thing that most encroaches on that is the Civil Rights Act, actually, and how it infects workplaces through HR departments, schools through Title IX offices, online discourse through terms of service. All of those things are fundamentally based in the Civil Rights Act. So, the reason why I asked it was not to say, oh, we're going to violate the Constitution, but to say that we are prepared to defend the First Amendment, and then when the state does get sued, that we are going to fully defend it up through the Supreme Court.
Yeah, I will fully defend the right to freedom of speech with my life, and that's a thing that you see across the board in politics at any level, as well as corporations, any powerful interest. Even if they can't attack it directly, they find other ways.
Absolutely.
The same effect. And that's the biggest problem in government in general, with everything that's like waste, fraud, abuse, etc. It's just all these clever, diabolical people that don't have our best interest in mind, finding ways to attack all of our rights, whether they have to go directly or not.
Right.
So that recognizing and understanding is that. So answering your question specifically, a Casey Putsch voter is anybody. It's young people that want it tomorrow to be able to afford a home and have actually the opportunity to get a job. It's families. It's women that want to raise kids. It's literally everybody. You know, obviously I'm a Republican, but I care. I care about us having equal rights. You know,
we're not hateful. We love everybody. Like, yeah.
Yeah. So, and I know that the divide between left and right, and I don't even want to go into the details. We know what it is, especially in the last 5 years. You know, political interests, oftentimes outside of the United States, are trying to divide us all socially, and that's
so true.
Absurd. It's sick. I don't care. We're all people. You know, we're all Ohioans at the end of the day, and I think in general we all share all the same basic traits of being a human.
So true.
Know?
God bless Ohio.
Listen, I'm a horrible sinner, but we are all believers here. We are all very strict believers in, like, we are all equal in the eyes of God. We all have equal value. Like, we're all humans, totally. And that's what they want to do. They want to present it as though we hate. The lowest thing you could do is to hate your neighbor, right? We love our neighbors. The whole reason why we are interested in any of this is because we love our neighbors and our neighborhoods, and we want it to be better for all of us. So and I think what you were saying about, you know, the Casey Putsch voter is pretty much anyone who cares about those things. I think it goes back to what we were saying at the top, where it's like the Democratic opponent is picking up on the same anti-neighborly rhetoric of Vivek, where it's like, I hate my neighbor because he's too much like Saved by the Bell, and he doesn't go to a Kumon school or whatever the case may be.
They didn't take piano lessons.
Right, and play with his bare feet.
Vivek's issue is actually worse and deeper than that. So he had his Christmas crash out like a year ago.
Second year in a row, actually.
Right, second year. Well, the first one. And okay, let's be honest. I don't think any of us watching or currently in this podcast right now has not said something dumb. Okay?
Of course. we have a sizzle reel. We have a promo reel of the dumb shit we say.
But and I'm sure they're making them of mine right now. But the thing is, Vivek shows actual contempt for America.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's
exactly.
He's a mean, vindictive little nerd that never fit in. And that's what shows. And, you know, so he writes that op-ed article in the New York Times.
Ugh.
It was originally entitled, "What is an American?"
Yeah.
I know that because I did a response video that says, "I'm American, loser."
Got his ass.
But
left no crumbs.
He changed the title to be something against, like, Nick Fuentes and Groyper.
Right.
Yeah.
Because they have to, like, repackage it, because all he was basically saying, if you don't like me because I suck as a politician and my track record in terms of obviously not caring about Ohio, then you're racist. It's like,
where have we heard that before?
Bullied off Twitter, by the way.
Bullied off Twitter.
Are you like, Vivek, dude, you picked the wrong party. Obviously, you're a leftist and you hate us all. Just go there.
Yeah.
Right. Go there.
Well, we've talked about this before, which is like these people who sponsor Vivek, like a Jeff Yass, like a David Sachs, like a Mark Andreessen, like a Peter Thiel, like a Palmer Luckey. All these people were leftists until 2024. They only jumped ship after COVID.
Accurate.
You know?
Yep.
And the list goes on. That's what people don't realize. These people are all leftists, and they did this just because I think that was the easiest place for them.
Yeah, everyone got tired of
that's
quote
what
unquote woke.
The bag was.
Yeah, exactly. They saw the bag was with the Republicans, so they went there. But it's like, fundamentally, there's still, you know, Silicon Valley transhumanist, mass immigration, blah, blah, blah bullshit, but with just an R next to their name. And it's like, fuck that.
Yeah, no thank you.
Right, like, let's look at this objectively just for a minute, okay? Let's pretend my granddad was here, right? Like, he's a conservative guy, loves America, loves his family, like, not actually racist like they're trying to be. You know what I mean? Like, a good dude. Good, solid dude, like Dr. Optometry, went to Ohio State on the GI Bill, married his high school sweetheart, married for 74 years.
What a classic American.
I love it.
Like, dude, classic American. You know, my mentor and role model in so many ways, and you know, got me interested in politics. Okay.
I could see him driving a split-window Corvette.
Yes. So, actually, he would joke around. He liked Mercedes, you know?
Really?
Oh, Mercedes! He's actually brown! I love that for him!
Hey, I love the diesel Mercedes, like a W123 chassis. Those things are sick.
That was the 80s, right? Or is that
75 to 84 or whatever.
Okay, yeah. He had the one from like the late 80s, early 90s that he really loved.
Nice.
He also had a 190 way back in the day.
Nice.
I'll tell you this little story. It was funny because, like, when I was a kid, and I don't know much here at school, like, you fought in World War II, like, the Germans were our enemy. Like, why did you drive a Mercedes? You know, I thought when I was a kid. He's like, it's a great car. Those Germans know how to engineer.
Yeah.
And then
listen,
later,
quality's quality.
Yeah.
Right.
Those bank vault doors.
Those damn Krauts make a good car.
No, but it gets on, like, so he was in the Pacific, right? And then he loved his Japanese cars afterward. And I'm like,
Oh yeah.
and then he would love that. And he would always love to get like proper Japanese rice and cook it, my grandfather, and go to like Japanese markets and stuff. I'm like, for a man that like the pop culture wants to say is this, like old racist man, he's really cool. He's really cool. And he actually fought, like his friends were killed by the people
exactly.
who drives now. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But it's because it's this caricature of racism where you hate everyone, really. But really what it is, it's like if you have a heritage that you're proud of, you're free to engage with the world and engage with different cultures. It's this absolute caricature where you're like, I hate everything from east of the Atlantic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it's funny you say that because my grandfather, in a sense, was the opposite of Vivek. Like, he was a proud American with roots going back and fought. But he was cool with people all around. He just wanted to be an American, and grow because you care about America and grow and do all that. And Vivek's literally the opposite. Like he hates us all and writes about it and doesn't share any values or anything like that. And then says this how. But anyway, where I was going with this is, if my granddad was around, I think he embodies all the conservative values. Like he should be the model Republican. I think if the party was all true, he should be. And it's like, okay. Me, a product of that growing up and sharing those values and actually caring about family and kids and even education, all the things, First Amendment, Second Amendment, being part of our civic duty, not being a swamp rat, all these things. But like we see Vivek, who like hates America, was born to Indian foreign nationals, it does like just big money scams.
None of his businesses are legit.
Yeah, I mean,
not a single one of them is fucking legit.
H-1Bs, says we're racist if we don't. Allegedly practiced DEI before he wrote a book at it to become conservative. It's like,
and that's why it leaks out.
Democrat?
Yeah, that's why it leaks out because he's
it.
steeped in that tradition, right? And it's just what he's doing now is an absolute skin suit, and we're not falling for it.
Yeah,
I know. It's funny the other day, and I had very good advice from past Republican congressman, very nice man, and I'm probably breaking it right now because he's like, you just have to be the happy warrior, just have those points and go. I'm like, can I be a person and just talk to people too? Can I feel like we're doing right now?
I don't think there's anything not happy about this. I mean, it's just kind of like we still love our country, we love our neighbors, and it's like, but we got to have this a little bit of righteous indignation. Like, are you seeing this shit?
Thank you. Yeah, like I got mad in videos. I'm like, everybody should be this mad. And the thing about it is, I want to assure you, yes, I can wear a suit, but the reason I'm not wearing a suit right now is I've got actual work I have to do today. I like to work on my house and car.
Damn straight.
So true.
And the other thing is, it's like, just because I'm not wearing a suit and talking to you like you've been living in Plato's allegory of the cave your entire life as a politician, polished wood, doesn't mean that I don't know how to put together an amazing team. Doesn't mean I don't know when we're getting lied to and manipulated. Doesn't mean that I don't know if I'm getting lied to and manipulated. And that's why we're doing it. That's why I'm running as governor against Vivek, because I'm sorry, we're all being lied to, manipulated. In no way does he extol the values and virtues of being conservative. He doesn't even extol the values of liking America or Ohioans. So back to your question,
sickening.
Who's a Casey Putsch voter? Any Ohioan that just wants to live and have a good future and industries,
have a chance.
And a family.
Damn straight.
That's an Ohio voter. And if the Republicans get mad for me saying this, you know who your enemy is.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's everybody.
Beautiful
That's
losers.
Democrat.
Those
That's
people are
independent.
principled
That's
losers. Yeah.
That's libertarian. That's everybody.
Hey, you like that
except for
Democratic candidate's
sellout.
like attack line against Vivek where she points out correctly that he hates Americans? You know what you should do on May 5th? You should grab a Republican ballot and vote for Casey Putsch.
So true.
Yeah, it's simple. It's simple. And that's just it. Like, can we end the absurdities? Can we just let it go?
Yeah.
Can we just not talk about Vivek anymore? We would all be better off. And I'll be honest, like, in a perfect world, would I be here right now? Like,
exactly.
I enjoy talking to you guys, but would I be running? No.
Right.
I would be building my educational program. But like, our society is screwed. The educational programs are screwed. Like, there's no support for it. So are you kidding me? Like, I've spent the last 11 years of my life to my own detriment. I even got a Lifetime Achievement Award from literally President Donald Trump and Biden, and got to fly with the Thunderbirds. That's what that picture
is.
So cool.
But no support, none.
Right.
A cup of coffee for the kids, and then I do the Omega car, gets over 100 miles to the gallon. Like, maybe a modern parallel of the Wright brothers. I'm not comparing myself.
Speak on it, Kate. You better speak on it.
No
say it with your whole chest.
like trying to build a watch company. Like this is my watch I prototyped for NASA requirements for the Artemis missions, and we have tariffs to bring industry back. Yet there's no support in Ohio to build a company. I'm sorry, I'm 44 years old. I have a lovely wife, family, a little one, another on the way, and I see no future for us. No support for the people to better their own lives. All I see is us facilitating.
And the biggest endorsed candidate is someone who hates us.
Exactly. Like, and this type of righteous indignation in you is, I think, totally valid. I don't see it as hateful at all. I see it as completely impassioned. And it's like, fortune will smile on you for being this type of truth speaker.
Thank you. And I got to add just a couple little more things to that.
Go off, please. Go off.
Thank you. Thank you. So... yeah, so I would like to be doing those things, and there's no jobs for people. So am I just going to sit down and watch the world burn? Like, can we just be real about how insanely risky this is for me? Just kind of an interesting normie who cares? I'm not a billionaire. I'm not a rich guy. Like,
if God forbid Vivek gets in, they're going to come for you. And we need you to...
Dude, like... lawfare, that has to end. Like any sense of millionaire billionaire can ruin your life or mine or anybody else's. They can set me up if it works in their favor politically. My only hope right now in doing this is like hopefully they're smart enough to realize what the Barbara Streisand effect is if they try to wreck me. Like that would be bad.
They'll try to be like, oh, what regulatory things did he maybe not do? And da-da-da-da. They'll try to find anything on you.
But speak your truth and be honest and don't worry about it. God is good and God is merciful.
I've gotten a couple of speeding tickets, not bad in the past, And
the car guy? Shocker.
I know.
But like nobody in my family gets divorced. Nobody's been arrested. We pay our taxes. I don't know what to tell you, man. We're trying.
They wear their shoes.
I'm wearing slippers. Let's
we got feet cam. We got the feet cam. Let's go. We got feet cam.
I just broke the internet.
Exclusive.
You'll have a Feet Finder account.
Just went up.
You'll get a Feet Finder account before you get a Wikipedia page.
The gay freaks in Ohio just boosted you another couple points.
We just got you a big contingent.
Hey, come on.
Watch your words. Watch your words.
We can say it.
I got a story to tell.
Please.
See, this is where the establishment Republicans are going to lose their mind. So my wife and I, years ago in Columbus when we were down there, I took her out to dinner at a place called, I think it was Barcelona. It's a very nice restaurant, German Village. The short north is the arts district of Columbus, and also, as I say, the rainbow communities. Center
Never heard of it.
And, okay, fair. So anyway, there's a place in the short north that was like, it was salsa dancing. It was like a proper ballroom dance kind of thing.
It's called the Eagle.
Really cool.
Stop.
I don't know.
Don't worry about that. Don't worry.
He's being
crazy.
I don't know. So anyway, it was a cool place, and when I was single, I'd invite, because young women, they like to go dancing. And so we go there. So my wife and I were going to go salsa dancing. We're in Barcelona, and we're sitting at the bar waiting for a table, and George Takei walks in.
Hello.
Holy crap, it's George Takei. And I'm like, that's cool, Trekkie. And, obviously he's part of the rainbow community. And I think he was there because it was the festival going on. And I kept bugging my wife. I said, it's Sulu. We got to invite him and his partner salsa dancing. And my wife was too embarrassed to do it. And I'm like, no, this is a golden opportunity, because I'm just imagining, like, if everybody goes dancing, it's cool. I hope he gets dipped and he goes, oh my.
Oh my.
So that was a missed opportunity of fun. But
you could have had your own millionaire backer at that point.
I know.
Oh, come on. I don't know. And I tell that story just genuine, because, like, when I said it's all the people of Ohio.
Exactly. We're not LARPing. We're not hateful. We love our neighbors. We don't but we care about our neighbors, and we care about our communities, and we care about our future. We care about our children, that type of thing. So
true.
I think that is a good story to tell, because it does kind of poke a bubble in what they kind of want to paint you as kind of like chud coded, whatever. And it's like, you are a man who loves your country, loves your community, loves your state.
Yeah. Can we just like, okay, why am I conservative? Because I think those are the values that let you build a society well. And I'm sorry, but the Democrats, all I see is them being politically radicalized to like leverage and split everybody apart.
And censor everyone and et cetera. Yeah.
Yeah. And all the things I saw happening with the left, okay, all I see, after the last 5-10 years are over, I'm like, is the African American community better off for what?
Like, let's be so for real.
I don't think so. Is the rainbow community better off for everything that's happened in the last while?
Having their lunch eaten by the trans community and all that stuff. Like, is that better for everybody? Like, let's be so for real.
Yeah.
Can we all just lower the temperature and be people? And calls it as we see it with political radicalization and absurdities at both sides of the fence. Like, I've always been Republican and voted conservative. Obviously, I think you guys know where I come from, but like, I have a heart.
Exactly.
Can we all just live?
You're not a caricature of yourself. That's exactly what it is. It's like, and if you want to make the world a better place, take a look at yourself and make a change, as they say.
So true.
So yeah, no, I mean, I'm running as a Republican because I've always been one. That's my party. I don't think Vivek belongs in it. I think he's bought out the establishment. I think in a way, they've all done us a great service because now we know who the establishment zealots are that have nobody's best interest in mind. So that's where I am, and that's what I'm fighting.
Yes, and if you are in Ohio, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, you are going to go to the polls, you're going to request a Republican ballot, and you're going to vote for Casey Putsch, Cinco de Mayo, 2026. And then you'll get a margarita.
Yeah, that'd be fun. Maybe I'll allow myself.
Have a Cinco de Mayo election day party. Why not?
Why not?
Actually, that is fun. Let's do that.
Yeah. Actually, like the white nationalist is having a Cinco de Mayo party. Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, I can only imagine what all they're gonna try to ping me at. Whatever.
But live in your truth, speak your truth. God is merciful.
Well, we got to be careful with that, just because apparently a lot of the Groypers are Mexican. So
that's true. They'll be like, yeah, he's a Groyper candidate. He's appealing to them with his Cinco de Mayo. Yeah.
Look, okay, this is fair to say. Okay, this is fair to say. Everybody on planet Earth is gonna love people for whatever reason they want and hate people for whatever reason they want. And
they'll find a way.
Exactly.
If people don't like me because they think I'm like too mean or not mean enough in any way, shape, and form, like, I can't help you. All I can be is me.
Exactly. That'll never lead you wrong.
I care about my country. I will always feel to be an American. All the people that came before me that fought and worked and blood, sweat, and tears to give us a shot, that's what I care about. I'm a product of that. I take offense when I see people trying to tear that down, tear down the values, tear down America, tear down any of my fellow man. And yes, that means man and women.
Yeah. Et cetera, et cetera.
And I'm going to call it out on both sides. And I'm sorry, not sorry if you have a problem that I actually care about people.
Don't be exasperated, Casey. I think you have exactly the right mindset, exactly the right attitude. Don't let it wear you down. It's a marathon. It's not a sprint. We're going to check in with you hopefully in the springtime and get like a state of the race with you. So we're hopeful. We love everything we're hearing.
Yeah,
so,
we love it. I just can't see Vivek win and turn Ohio into an economic zone.
State. Please, Casey.
I'm working on it, guys. I'm working on it. And if people want to be, that's it. I care about people of Ohio. I'm a Republican. I've always been one. They're conservative values. I just want a better future for all of us and objectively do that. And that's all I got.
We love it. We loved it. Well, thank you so much for joining us. We really appreciate your time and best of luck and God bless and all of that stuff. And we'll check in with you. Like I said, let's try to check in the springtime and see how the race is going.
Anytime. Yeah, I'm honored, guys. Anything else? Any questions, thoughts, jokes, whatever?
Actually, I just bought a GMT 800, an 02 Chevy truck here. I want you to get your opinion here. Okay. How'd I do? 125,000 miles. Has the 5.3, no cylinder deactivation, so we're mint there. $3,600.
Oh, that sounds like a pretty good deal. It's a pretty running
Z71, fully loaded, all sunroof, all the things. Good deal.
It sounds like it. I don't know the market, but that's pretty solid.
We got to get a sticker to put on the car and be like, Putsch approved.
Putsch approved Chevy truck.
I'll add one to it. I hope I'm not taking away too much time from you.
No.
When I got to do the Tucker Carlson episode and talk about the car, we were talking about right to repair and wallets and things like kind of like pre 9/11. That's when you could,
Yes.
like work on cars and service them better, and they weren't connected to the man. And I told him, I was kind of embarrassed. I told him, like, it's kind of a joke. I bought a 1996 Rolls Royce for $8,000.
Oh, you're crazy. You're crazy.
Yeah. No, it was built like old world, so I could fix everything on it. And transmission. So
really?
Elbow grease.
Does it have the turbo transmission?
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
One. And it's naturally aspirated 8-cylinder. Everything's good, and I just fix it up. And even with title and tax and everything and new tires, I'm still into it for probably less than $13,000-$14,000.
Nice. That's smart. That's how you do it.
I told Tucker this, and he's like, "What?" He's like, "Does it run?" I'm like, "Yeah, it runs great. I fixed it up and drive around."
Yeah.
He's like, "I like the way you roll."
Yeah.
I thought it was funny that like Tucker's having, I don't know, all these people that are probably on international hit lists and like a Russian foreign minister.
Yeah. You're like, actually, my 1990 something Rolls Royce.
Yeah. And I'm like, dude, I bought a cheap Rolls Royce on Facebook Marketplace. It's awesome.
Yeah.
Now you got to talk about cars, but it's fun. I mean, that's how.
Isn't it?
But like,
Isn't it
American
crazy
spirit is invigorating, really.
Isn't it crazy how cars have only gotten worse?
It's crazy.
Like they tried, they have cameras and sensors and top down and da-da-da, but it's like, okay, but the transmission is mulching itself at 80,000 miles.
Yeah.
There's all these recalls. The cylinder deactivation is nuking my cams. What are we doing here? How is this actually better? When my 02 Chevy and my 98 Sierra before that, more comfortable, doesn't break down, fucking runs and never. I could fix it with a hammer.
Fucking auto start thing, the fucking auto. Oh my god, that shit makes me want to fucking
the stop
kill
start pisses me off.
Oh man. If anybody gives me crap for this podcast, I don't care. I had fun with those guys.
We appreciate it. Hopefully we didn't fuck up your campaign or anything.
Yeah, we didn't,
We think it was good. We think it was good.
Yeah.
Hard-hitting questions.
Well, no, it is good. So, right on that, I am like absolutist on right to repair. I mean, that's important for farmers, people running their own.
Yeah,
so true.
What John Deere has been doing is tragic. It's so shameful.
Terrible. You're gonna wreck it. You can't wreck. That's all they're doing is they're wrecking all the farmers' lives. So eventually they can't afford
A part of farming is fixing your equipment.
Right.
Like that's part of farming. And to say, you need to take it to an authorized dealer, or you have to have someone from John Deere come
completely
out.
backwards.
It's like, fuck you.
And think about this: in the not too distant future, if they regulate it to where like, old cars are not safe. Well, you can't afford, or the insurance will be so high, and then they force it. No one's going to be able to afford anything. The right to repair and own your own private property, and be grandfathered in. That is the only way to create actual competition, so the government doesn't get in bed with the auto industry and just keep making products.
You will own nothing, and you will be happy about it. That's an Afghan accent. That's an if anyone asks, that's an Afghan accent.
Is it? Okay,
it's not.
I didn't know. I had absolutely no idea what that accent is, and I've never done any accents in my life.
So true. We don't even watch The Simpsons. We don't even watch The Simpsons.
Yeah.
And the only accent I would do right now is, "It's so wonderful to be my people."
Okay, we need to cut the cameras. We need to cut the cameras.
Yeah, you might be doing something to him.
Fair of everybody coming in, possibly raping my own countrymen.
We need to cut the cameras. We need to stop.
The English don't vote. And I don't want Ohio to become England.
Exactly.
No,
No stabbings in Cleveland. Thank you. So true.
You guys were very nice to cut me off there, but
we're trying our best.
Well, we only cut you off because he was starting to get bricked up a little bit.
Because the British accent does something to me.
So
we had to cut that off.
I chose that one because I figured,
it's safe.
Yes, exactly.
We made him go away in 1776.
Yeah, it's like you're allowed to be like quote unquote racist to the Irish in America.
And
it's
the
like
French.
all right.
Yeah, I don't even know about that.
It's also silly. These silly rules.
Have Ohio become England or
exactly, or any other country. We want Ohio to be Ohio and make Ohio great again.
God bless Ohio.
Okay, so if this podcast is the end of my campaign, then let's all get margaritas sooner. How about that?
Let's go.
Yeah, we'll be there.
no, you're gonna to the moon.
Yeah. Thank you. This has been nice. It's been real. I'm a real person. I care. I am a Republican. We have an amazing team. There's genuine policy detailed to make the future be better. So obviously, I have a sense of humor. I can be a regular person because I am one. I don't think that my I was going to say opponent, but I was going to say nemesis because I'm not using it right.
Yeah, enemy of the pod.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, is a regular guy in that sense who cares about anybody. And I'm sorry, but Amy Acton on the Democrat side, she resigned as health director. The pressure is too much. We cannot let that person be in charge.
We are not letting anyone who shut down the state over a flu into office. That's not happening.
Or a fleet of F-16s, you know? Anyway,
Get out of here. Get out of here with that. But yes, no, May 5th, grab a Republican ballot and vote for Casey Putsch on May 5th in Ohio.
Please.
I'm honored. Thanks for being real, guys.
Thank you so much. We'll talk to you soon.
Yeah.
Bye now.
Bye.
All right, take care.